The social component of SAP Predictive Analytics offers frequent path analysis, enabling us to visually analyze sequences of events that occurred within a defined time period. With support for a range of geolocation information system protocols, frequent path analysis can be used to view traffic patterns or examine the paths of individuals walking through a neighborhood, for example. In this case, we have a dataset that records the movements of a number of individuals in New York City and want to visualize their routes and destinations in Google Earth. First, we need to select the dataset. For this example, we'll use one of the samples installed with SAP Predictive Analytics. Next, we'll open a data description that specifies the required information about the dataset. Now we can see information about the dataset, which includes a user column, a location column, latitude and longitude columns for each location, and a check-in time column to timestamp the user's arrival at each location. Before we can proceed to the next screen, we're prompted to create a composite variable that combines the latitude and longitude columns into a single position-based variable that we'll call location. Here, the geolocated item, position, and date column variables have been identified automatically. The tile size in meters setting specifies the size of the area surrounding each location that we want to consider. The larger the tile size, the more events are considered to occur in the same location. For this example, we'll reduce the tile size to 20 meters. In the time period area, we can specify a start date and time for analysis if desired. In the miscellaneous area, we can specify the maximum number of connections for each location. Connections beyond the maximum will not be considered when training the model. For this example, we'll use the default settings. In the maximum time between transitions area, we can specify how long a user can remain at one location before we will no longer consider their next location to be part of the same path. The maximum path count value specifies the maximum number of paths we want to analyze for the model. The maximum path length specifies the maximum number of segments a path can have. For this example, we'll set a maximum of 5, meaning that a path can include a maximum of 6 locations, including the starting and ending points. In the model overview, we can review information about the trained model. Note that the nodes in first repository value refers to the number of users in the dataset, while the number of nodes in second repository value refers to the number of locations. Note that the link type is identified as bipartite, meaning that we're exploring links between two different populations, users and locations. Now we'll visualize some of the results. Here we can see an ID for the path taken by each user. For each path, we can see the sequence details, which include each tile on the path and the latitude and longitude ranges for each tile. We can also see the length of each path, which indicates the number of segments, as well as the support, which indicates the number of times the path occurred in the dataset. We'll select the first path and preview it in Google Earth. Now we can see the path in the Google Earth interface. Each location is identified by number, followed by a number in brackets to specify the order in which each location was visited. Now we'll return to SAP Predictive Analytics and filter the list of paths based on their ending location. First, we'll set the filter to be based on the ending location of each path. Next, we'll select the location we're interested in. Now we can see the list of paths that end at the selected location. We can see that the maximum length of these paths is 1. We can also see one path that has a length of 0, and that this occurred 24 times in the dataset. Based on our modeling settings, this means that there were 24 times when a user remained at this location for at least an hour, and had been at their previous location for at least an hour before leaving. Here we can see that the location we selected is on Liberty Island, home of the Statue of Liberty. We can understand why the paths that involve this location are so short, given the time it takes to travel to and from the island. You now know how to use frequent path analysis in SAP Predictive Analytics. For more SAP Business Intelligence tutorials, visit sap.com/learnbi.